like we all should be doing every single day with our business. And I wanted to learn how to better serve my audience, creating content that converts into customers, promoters. And I found some golden nuggets that I just had to share with you guys. And so this is going to be, like I said a little bit earlier, a behind the scenes of what goes into working on social media. So we're not going to pull up Instagram on our phone. We're not going to pull up Facebook. This is just going to be me sharing what I learned, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you guys as well. So we all have our fives list. If you guys are new, reach out to your upline about making your fives list. We have 5 things we love about the products, 5 things that are our brand that make us who we are, that are unique to us. We have 5 things we love about the comp plan. Those are our 5 lists. I found something that was just like mind-blowing to me, and this is the 5 W's of your business. And I was just like, it's another 5s list. I love it. It'll go perfectly with all the other 5s lists. So the 5 W's of your business, we're going to start with number 1. And that is answering the question. So the 5 W's of your business, they're all going to be questions that you're going to go back later and answer. So number 1 is, who do you serve? Now you might be thinking, Mandy, who do I serve? What do you mean? Everyone needs Thrive. Obviously, everyone needs Thrive. But who is your target audience? Who are you going to be able to relate to the most? So who do you serve? Some other little sub questions to ask to kind of help nail that down is, my ideal customer is blank. Fill it out. My ideal customers have these qualities, or my ideal promoters have these qualities. You can do a list for your customers and then a list for your promoters as well. And I'm going to go into more of how to determine who your ideal customer or promoter is in just a little bit. And then their urgent needs are yada, yada, yada. So who do you serve? You can do that for your customers, or how you're adding value. So if you know me, one of my brands is that I'm a mama. Hello, my shirt says it. And I'm a new mom. This is my first baby. And my whole thing is kind of learning as I go, because there's a lot of stuff about motherhood that you don't really realize until you're in the moment, that you're unprepared for. So how I can offer value to my ideal audience then is sharing what I'm learning, and that's going to help reach other new moms. You know, you can only be a new mom once. Once you have your second kid, you're not considered a new mom. So all of my new mom tips and tricks would not work probably for moms with 10 kids like Tracy, or a couple kids. So just asking those questions and writing stuff down. Okay, that's the first W. The second one is, what is your offering? And I was like, what the heck is offering? But basically, what is your value? We got into that a little bit in the first question, but I offer these products or services. What are you offering people? What value do you bring to the table? And then I offer these benefits, or you can change that out with, I offer these tidbits, these things that people can benefit from. And then also make a list of things you do not offer. But when you're making that list of things you do not offer, I want you to be thinking in your head, okay, who on our team could offer this value? For example, when it comes to the products, less aches and discomforts is one of the benefits of the products. I have the teeniest experience with that, but not a full-on story. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, who do I know on our team that could offer the value for a story like that? And then write it down. Be prepared. If someone comes to you and they're saying, this is what I'm looking for, and you're like, oh, you know, that's great, our product can help with it. I personally haven't had that testimony with the products in that way, but I know someone who did, and they can offer that person value. So make a list of things that you don't offer value for, but also write down who does, so that when that comes, you'll be prepared. Okay, so that's the second W. The third one is, when will you launch, is what they said. But I changed it into, when will you post? When are you going to offer that value? So writing down, I will post me doing my 3 steps in my stories every single day. I am going to do 1 value post a day. Write down what you want to do every single day, and come up with a plan. I feel sometimes we get kind of stuck in what to post as far as content, because we all know we could post all day about how amazing we feel, the 3 steps, what they're doing for us. But when it comes to offering other content that's not Thrive related, that's not just focused on ourselves in our daily life, content that offers value to people where they're going to be coming back to read more, some of us can get stuck sometimes. So kind of having that plan for when you're going to do it, and then we'll go into more of our ideal client and developing the content for that. And then another one for point number 3 is I will review and adjust as necessary for me, it's every month. Every month, either at the last day of the month or the first day of the following month, I go back through all of my social media posts on Facebook and Instagram, and I see, okay, what posts were people commenting on and interacting? What posts got the most like? And looking at the images, okay, people liked it when I had my makeup done versus when I didn't have my makeup done. You can look at that too, but look at the content. What were you talking about? Did you start your post off with a question and that got a lot of likes? If you started your post off with a question, that question might be something that caught their attention and then they read more rather than just going into a big thing. Another thing to look for, do you get more interactions when you write a huge story out, or are you getting more interaction when you're doing something short and sweet? Write all that down, do an audit however often you want. For me, it's once a month. All right, going on to the 4th W is where will you sell or offer value? So there's other things besides Facebook and Instagram. If you're offering value, I want you to think of things non-Thrive related. I know for Alicia, she is all about encouraging people in their self-love journey, right? She has a blog about that. What are some other ways you can be offering your value? I put down, you could start a blog, you could do a YouTube channel, or you can stick with Facebook and Instagram, but I want you to think, okay, am I gonna do maybe a short little video series? Am I gonna do a story series and make a highlight reel over this value that I'm offering? Another thing for our products is, do you have a link tree created? Or do you have a video of you sharing your Thrive experience that you have linked up there? Where are you going to be sharing what you sell and how you offer it? And like I said, this doesn't have to be overwhelming, but writing it out and kind of having that plan for where you're going to be sharing your content is going to help you so much. And the 5th W is, why do you want to do what you do? What is your why? Really dig into your why. And, one of my whys, I do this because of my baby. Okay, get more specific. Why am I doing this for my baby in my example? Well, because growing up, my family struggled and I don't want my baby to struggle. Okay, there's a little sub point. Dig deep into your why, and each little sub point is going to be something you can post about. Okay, not just posting about doing this for your little one. Some other things to write down for doing your why. Why do you do what you want to? Why do you want to do what you do? There you go. Is I'm excited to work with ideal customers and promoters because it's changed my life in these ways. Have your why for you personally, but expand that why into why are you excited to work with your customers? Make it about them. Why are you excited to work with your promoters? I'm excited about the value I offer and the products because of this. Answering that why question once again. And then the last little sub point that I have is, I think people will want to do this business with me because they've seen the change it's done in my life, because they've seen me pay off debt, because they see the community it's built. Get very specific, and that's going to help you have content to post. So those are the 5 W's. We went over them super fast, but I want to dig into them now a little bit more. So going back to the first one is, who do you serve? And I think this is one holdup that we have a lot of times, because we post so much about the products and how it's changed us that we don't really have necessarily a set customer type or ideal customer. I know Courtney shared a little bit about this, about creating your ideal customer, your ideal promoter, and kind of giving them the characteristics that you want. So we're going to go into that a little bit more. And once again, guys, I did it for you. It's another 5 list, 5 points on how to determine the ideal customer or promoter. And one thing that really stuck out to me as I was learning about this, so I did all this on, what's today? Today's Thursday. I did this on Sunday. And after that, I was just like, oh my goodness, like this is so cool. And I was like watching all these YouTube videos and reading all these other blogs and looking at stuff on Pinterest. And it just got me so excited. So one thing that was across the board though, was this quote. And that is, and I want everyone to write this down: clarity inspires action. Confusion breeds inaction. Oh my goodness, that just like knocked me over when I read that. And I was just like, that's what I struggle with. Clarity inspires action. Confusion breeds inaction. When people come to your Facebook, when people come to your Instagram, do they know what you're about, what value you're offering, or are they confused? Like, okay, this girl like is doing makeup and then she's cooking and then, oh, she has a dog. Oh, she has kids too. Like, okay, so like I can come here for this and this. Like, no, clarity. No, sorry, have to add someone on and I get distracted easily. Clarity inspires action. So these are going to be the 5 steps to help you determine to create your ideal client. And when you know your ideal client, your customer, promoter, this works for both, it'll help you be clear in how you're talking to them, and it'll help you be certain and come across as authoritative in your messages. It's going to help boost your confidence. The quote again is, clarity inspires action. Confusion breeds inaction. Alrighty, so step number 1 for creating your ideal client, kind of narrowing it down, is number 1, top priority. You can write that down, top priority. And what that means is you need to determine their values, feelings, and goals, okay? You want to start on the inside. What makes that person them? It is never your responsibility to get someone results. It's not your responsibility to get your customers results. It's not your responsibility to help your promoters succeed. Your responsibility is to guide them and train them and equip them so that they can take the steps to see those results. I think we can all think of either a mini experienced person or a customer that took the product wrong when we gave it to them. Or we get questions like, oh, you know, capsules, lifestyle mix, why do I need the DFT? Stuff like that. You know, it's not our responsibility to make sure that, oh my goodness, like I am such a bad person, they're not doing this and this and this. No, our responsibility is to equip them to make those correct decisions, to take those right steps. And when you're talking to a potential, finding out their values, their feelings and goals. Okay, what is their goal with the product? Okay, you're wanting more energy. How do you feel about the products? Okay, explaining what the system is, the 3 steps. You're going to find out right away, oh, I don't think the DFT is going to work. Oh, I'm really hesitant about the shake mix. You know, you're going to find all that out once you start digging into that. And then also their values. And I know you might be like, oh, their values, what is values? But basically, do they want their goals met enough to work hard? Are they hardworking? Are they consistent? Those type of things. And just letting them know that, you know, I can want these results all day long for you, but ultimately it's you that you're going to have to do this and this and this. And I'm willing to put in 100% of my effort, but it's also going to take you doing this 100% as well. If what you're offering isn't a top priority for them, then it won't be enough to sustain them through the challenging mindsets and distractions that come up. So if someone, for example, is like, yeah, I want more energy throughout the day, but it's not a top priority for them. It's not like they're the really exhausted mom that's at the end of her wits that is just looking for anything to help with that energy. You know, if it's someone that, oh, you know, I don't mind living off of 7 coffees a day, big whoop. You know, they're not going to be determined to work with you to find out what works for them. You know, they're going to have one negative person come into their life and be like, oh yeah, I tried that for like one day and it didn't work. And they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to try this anymore. You know, so finding people that this is going to be a top priority for them, promoting or customer wise. So that's step one into kind of creating your ideal customer or promoter. Like I said, you can make this your own. You know, write down what goals you think your ideal customer or promoter are going to have. Number two, challenges and results. You can write that down. Number two is challenges and results. You need to clarify what results they want and what challenges they're facing that hold them back from the results. So what is their problem and what's been holding them back from changing that problem so far? And then because we've worked on our business, we're posting content for this ideal customer, for this ideal promoter, we are going to have the answer to their problem. And once you narrow down what your ideal customer's problem is, maybe it's they're exhausted, the weight loss, and you can have more than one ideal customer. You know, you could have an ideal customer for energy, for weight loss, whatever, but they're going to know that you have the answer to their problem because your content has been directed right towards them and your solution is going to align with what they're searching for. Like I said before, if you have that exhausted mama who's at her wit's end that's looking for anything to help her and you've been posting consistently about that, you know, towards that client, you know, they're going to know that, okay, she's the answer. I need to try what she has. What to do when you're posting, some of the things that they're going to be searching for that you can post about is their pain points, the challenge that they're facing, and fears. So basically writing this into like a question form, what is going wrong in their life? Pick a problem, and then when you create your content, you can, you know, start off with that question, like, how many of you guys have ever just felt so exhausted that you don't even want to get out of bed in the morning? How many of you guys have felt so stuck that you hate looking in the mirror at yourself? Ask that question, share your story, and answer the problem within that. Another one is, what are they feeling? You can do, you know, like the emotions, you know, challenges, you know, maybe, you know, like I said before, you feel stuck, you feel overwhelmed. If we go to the promoter side, you feel overwhelmed with the amount of debt that you have, and it feels like you're never getting enough traction. And then the third question that you can answer in your post is, what would happen if they continue in that path? What would happen if nothing ever changes? And then another thing to, sorry, one of my note pages is out of order. Okay, and then another thing with talking about and creating the challenges and results is, you know, making sure they communicate their barriers. What's been holding them back so far from making this lifestyle change? And if it's something mental, you need to pay attention and write that down. Maybe it's, you know, they don't want to put in the effort to lose weight. You know, they admit that they're lazy, you know, and you need to have that discussion with them and be like, you know, you have to at least show up and take the products. You have to drink your water, you know, and you need to make sure they're willing to work and move past those barriers. We all have barriers. None of us come without any barriers, but it's the desire to learn and move past those. Promoter things, you know, oh, I haven't done network marketing before because I don't know how to work social media. Okay, a lot of us didn't know how to work social media, but we are willing to move past and work through that. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to hop on a training? Yes, I can share the list in the chat too when we're done. All right, so number 3 is sources of information. You're gonna have to kind of dig into this. And once again, we're writing all this down and filling it out to create our ideal customer, our ideal promoter, so that when we are creating content, it's targeting them. It's specifically directed at our ideal people. So where do they get their info? For me, for example, sticking with the whole mom theme, a lot of my moms are probably reading blogs just like me, or getting their ideas for healthy meals and stuff from Pinterest. So if that's where my ideal customers and promoters are getting information for the value that I'm offering, I need to be active on people's blogs and sharing the stuff I learned. I need to be active on Pinterest. What are they reading? What types of books are your potentials reading? What are they listening to? And if they're not really reading or listening to anything, you might want to have that discussion with them. Are you willing to? Because even if you're not in network marketing, it shows a lot if you are wanting to learn and grow as a person. We continue that into our business by listening to podcasts about network marketing and reading stuff about it. But what are they doing right now in their personal life to grow as a person? And then, it shows they're already working, and it's going to be that much easier to recommend stuff for them as well. So number 4 is time, energy, effort. Time, energy, effort. So this one was just like, ooh, because I struggle with this when it comes to potentials. I want it so bad for them, especially when it comes to promoters. If you guys can relate to this, let me know. But I see someone who loves the product, who's interested in the opportunity, and it's like, I know they've got it. I know they'd be so great at this, but it's like, I'm pulling tooth and nails to get them to like see the opportunity to want it. And then, sometimes they'll create an account and it's just like, okay, we're going to do this. And then it's like, hello, you still there? You still live? It's like I said, you can only want it for someone so much. So when you're talking to someone, be realistic with the time, the energy, and the effort. The time, how many hours a day is this going to take, for, someone working 2 jobs? Maybe, it's going to be 1 hour right when they wake up. They're going to do their income producing activities in the morning. And then maybe 30 minutes before they go to bed, they're going to catch up on messages and stuff and then go to bed. Okay. Have that conversation. How many days, we can't all work this business 100% 7 days a week. Maybe sometimes it's like, okay, you're going to do this 5 days a week, and then you're going to have 2 days where you're still checking in and stuff, but you're going to be focused on your family. Paint that picture. How often are your ideal promoters working? Or, for customers, making sure that they're going to be taking the product first thing in the morning. Very simple. Energy, what type of activities are they going to be doing, and effort, laying out what it'll take and being realistic with it. Just being like, what we do, never say what we do is easy, because what we do is hard. We work hard. What we do is simple. It doesn't take rocket scientists. It's simple, but it is hard work. It's hard work to wake up and be consistent every day. It's hard work to, make the time to get on Zooms. It is hard, but it's simple. Anyone can do it. What we do is simple enough that anyone can do it, but it is going to take someone that wants it and is willing to put in the effort. It does take a lot of effort. So when you're talking with people, when you're talking to potential promoters, make sure you paint that realistic picture and go over time, energy, effort. You can even ask them, what are you willing to commit? Because I'm going to hold you to it. What are you willing to commit time-wise and energy-wise? I understand if you can't match how much I'm putting in, but I need to know what you're putting in, because I'm going to match that. I'm not going to be giving you 200% and you're only at 25%. That's not fair to me. And I honestly have better things to do than to pour out 175% more than you're putting in and have you do nothing. So number 5 is the monetary investment. I feel like this is something we are hesitant to bring up to people. But you guys, how amazing is our product? Our product's incredible. I joined on a mini experience for $30. I was completely broke. I was about to lose my car. And I saw that the 400 box was going to be the best option for getting started as a promoter. And you know what I did? I said, I have no way to buy a $400 box. My bank account's in the negative from buying that $30 mini experience. There's nothing. But I hustled my butt to hit my VIP 800 off of mini experience. And I took that $400 bonus and I bought a $400 box. I could have used that money for a lot of other things and it probably would have been wiser, but in the end, it paid off for me to reinvest back into my business. So when you're talking to people about getting started, even as a customer. You know, how many times do you hear you say that, you know, how much the product is, and they're just like, that seems a little high. They're not valuing it enough. Ask them, why does it seem high? How much are you spending a week on fast food? That is my absolute favorite one to say. How much are you spending a week? If you break the 3 steps down, it's about 35 bucks a week. People spend a lot more than 35 bucks a week getting McDonald's, getting fast food, going out to dinner. $5 a day for someone like a stay-at-home mom, even though it's the same as 35 a week, $5 a day sounds a lot to someone that doesn't leave the house every single day or spends money on themselves every single day. Sorry, Alicia. But if you say $35 a week, I found it works a lot better for me to say that, you know, isn't it worth it for you to feel amazing? Don't you think your family would feel like it's worth it to have, you know, their mom back, to have a fun mom, to have a mom that's happy? You know, going back to those pain points, going back to those challenges that they face, you know, isn't it worth it? You should never feel like you have to lead with a discounted product, you know. Now, like I said, I wasn't able to afford the product. So I understand when people say, I don't have the money. Okay, well, if you really don't have the money, you still value the product, we're going to work like heck to get you your 2 referrals before you even get the product, and you can get it for free. Or, okay, you know, let's brainstorm. Can you babysit? Maybe you have some old clothes you can sell on Facebook Marketplace. Brainstorm. Never bring down the value of the product. You know, they can post about it if they had a mini experience. If they're really wanting to get the product, you can always have them have a mini experience and then post about it to get their referrals, stuff like that. But you should never feel like you have to apologize for the value of the products. So with that being said, you're going to answer all of those and create your ideal customers and promoters. And now when you're creating your content, you can better direct and have kind of a plan for what you're posting. You should never feel like stuck in, how do I post? What am I doing? Does anyone have any questions or want me to go over anything? Like I said, this was kind of a behind the scenes of social media, what goes on that we don't see, that, you know, puts value out there for people. Alrighty, well, if no one has any other questions, that's kind of all I had planned for tonight. Don't forget the list. Yeah, I can go over the list real quick if someone forgot one, and then I'll try typing them out in the Thrive Army chat. So the 5 W's of your business. Number 1 was, who do you serve? 2, what are you offering? 3, when will you launch was the official thing, but when will you post? When will you create content? 4, where will you be selling or offering that value? Think outside the box. Doesn't just have to be Instagram or Facebook. And 5 is, why do you do what you do? And then kind of going into the who do you serve, another fives list for finding out who you serve and how you can better serve them is 1, their top priorities. You know, we're making imaginary customers. Mine is called Susie. So Susie's one of my ideal customers. I have her named. I have all of these things listed out for her. So 1 is top priority. 2 is challenges and results. 3 is sources of information. 4 is time, energy, and effort. And 5 is the monetary investment. And then I just found a little part of my notes that I had accidentally skipped over, so I'm going to share it with you. But this is kind of an extra thing. These are some signs that they are not your ideal customer or promoter. I think I covered like 1 point of this, and then I accidentally turned my page and we lost it. So when I was talking a little bit earlier about, you know, having to pull on somebody to get them to promote and how that was not ideal, you should never have to do that to someone. Here are some other things that show that they are not ready or they are not a good match for you. Chasing them down, you know, you're having to hound on them, you know, for promoting. I would say these are more for promoters than necessarily like customers. Because customers, we always encourage you following up with people. I know I watched Courtney for a year and a half before I was ready. So this is probably for more of like the promoting side. Having to convince them. You should never have to convince someone that this business opportunity is incredible. They need to realize that on their own. You know, if they have questions or concerns about it, you can definitely answer them. There's nothing wrong with that. But once they hear that answer, they should never need you to try to convince them that it's right for them. They didn't complete tasks. You know, you send the opportunity video and they don't watch it. Okay. You send them your link to set up a free account. They don't do it. Okay. They can't complete those simple tasks. What if they actually click promote? Do you think they're going to hop on Zooms? Do you think they're going to be posting? Do you think they're going to do Facebook Live interviews? No, if they can't do the very, very simple tasks, it's hard. I know, because I'm like, I need a team, but let them go. Let them go. It's not worth your time. It'll drain you emotionally. And yes, just let them go. And then one is they don't see value in the full price. You know, there's a difference between not being able to afford it and not seeing the value in the full price. Big difference. So that was the little nugget I lost. There you go, something extra. And okay, I don't see any questions still, so I'll let you guys go. Thanks for hopping on, and I hope that was helpful for you guys. Bye.